you been searching for a luxury move-in ready home? If so, you're going to want to check out this Snowhill floor plan at the Harris Ranch community by Toll Brothers. This Snowhill floor plan is just under 4,000 square feet at $960,000 and is move-in ready next month. If you're new to the channel, my name is David Tully and I am your go-to resource for Reno, Sparks, and Northern Nevada real estate. If you're thinking about buying, selling, investing, or relocating to Sparks, Nevada, I'd love to help. All my information is down below. So you're probably wondering where Harris Ranch is located, and it's located in the northern part of Spanish Springs off of Pyramid Highway. I would say the only real con to this area is you're a little bit further away from amenities. I'd say you're about 11 to 13 minutes away from a Save Mart and a Winco, which are gonna be your closest grocery stores. And if you wanna go to places like Costco, Walmart, Best Buy, Sprouts, or even Trader Joe's, you're probably in this 17 to 19 minute range, which still isn't too bad, but you're just a little bit further north. All right, today we're gonna be touring the Snowhill floor plan. This is a quick move-in home that'll be ready in July, the Harris Ranch community by Toll Brothers. This is a 5-bedroom, 4.5 bath home with a flex room and a loft, a 3-car garage, and an RV garage priced at $960,000. All right, so right as you make your way through the main entryway, you can see a lot of nice LVP flooring. I'm not sure if this is the standard LVP flooring because it looks very similar to the LVP flooring I have in my Toll Brothers home, but in several of these sections, it would actually be carpet. So they definitely upgraded some areas to add LVP here. And then right over here is gonna be your standard eggshell or knockdown texture. So that is a standard option. And then right over here is gonna be an upgraded baseboard. It's the 5¼ inch baseboard. And I did upgrade this in my Toll Brothers home. And I'm gonna say I don't technically agree that it should be an upgrade. I think it should be a standard, but I would recommend upgrading your baseboards or do it after the fact. But I do think it's worth it. It looks a lot nicer. Right over here, you're gonna have your half bath or your powder room. And then you have these brass or these gold faucets and finishes, which are really nice. Looks like it's a Kohler faucet. And then you got your gold member toilet paper holder. And then you have that same LVP flooring here, which don't worry, it is waterproof, but I would still recommend cleaning up any water or moisture on this flooring fairly quickly. Over here to the left, they do have carpet in the bedrooms, which I actually prefer. And then right here, you're gonna see a pre-wire for a ceiling fan or light. And what that means is if they're not giving you an actual light in the room, they have to put a half hot in. And what that means is this upside down outlet here is controlled by a switch in the room. So you just plug in the top outlet. I believe it's a top outlet, and then it can be controlled by the light switch by the front door. And then I would say this room is maybe a 10 by 12, maybe 11 by 12. It's not a bad size room at all. And then you got 10-foot ceilings here. And then something to keep in mind, when they started this community, Harris Ranch was a little bit further away from a fire station. So these homes do have fire sprinklers. So I would recommend getting that inspected once a year. Over here, you're gonna have a walk-in closet in this ensuite, which is a nice touch. But over here, here's your own bathroom and this ensuite bedroom. And then right here, you got that LVP flooring. You got nice upgraded cabinets. And then I think this is Piedrafina. So yes, this is a standard countertop option for bathrooms here, but it still looks really nice. And then that's kind of odd that they used some chrome, some brass. I thought they would have kept it consistent, but it's interesting. Not bad, but just different. So there's another chrome Kohler faucet. You got a nice frameless glass door. This tile in here looks like it's standard. I think it's a standard 12 by 12. Every Toll Brothers community is a little bit different on what the standard is, but I do believe this 12 by 12 is standard. Personally, I would upgrade that to a subway tile for, not too much more money. And then I understand this is probably a guest bathroom, but I would probably take that to the ceiling, but that's up to you. So one thing to budget for when buying a brand new construction home is gonna be your window coverings. As you can see, no window coverings. You're gonna need a washer, dryer, and fridge. So those are some of the bigger expenses. Right over here is kind of this flex room, which, if you were building, I believe you can turn this into an office, but this could still be a nice open office area. Maybe put a nice big pool table, and then they do have a pre-wire for a ceiling fan or light there. And this This flex room over here is a really good size, actually. Tons of space over here. Or, I mean, in reality, you could use this as a formal dining area too, if you'd like. Then over here, you got the massive great room. And then I can tell over here in the great room, usually extra lights in the great room are an electrical upgrade. So I believe these 4 can lights or recessed lighting is gonna be an upgrade. You got a pre-wire for a ceiling fan there. And then you got tons of LVP flooring here, which this great room area, I believe as a standard option, would have a good amount of carpet. And they also upgraded that outlet in the floor, which is an upgrade. Then an outlet on the wall and a Smurf tube to hide your cables would be an upgrade. They also got an Ethernet port with a Cat 5 or Cat 6 now right there, so you can hardwire your TV. And like I said, this great room area, I believe, as a standard is carpet. So this LVP extension is an upgrade. And then I spent a majority of my upgrade money in my toll home in the kitchen. So I can definitely tell you this countertop, these quartz countertop is an upgrade. Standard option would be granite. They upgraded these cabinets to a nicer cabinet. They did full overlay, so you don't really have much of a gap between the cabinets. They put in a nice backsplash here, and then they got some nice KitchenAid. I believe that, I can't remember if that's standard or an upgrade. That might be the standard option now, because I believe they got rid of Gen Air. So that stove, this nice KitchenAid dishwasher, and then over here you got a double oven and a microwave. Looks really nice. And like I said, of course, these are all upgraded cabinets and then handles or cabinet pulls as well. And then over here, I would say kind of a smaller pantry for a house that's almost 4,000 square feet, but you know, you could easily put some additional cabinets or shelving right here to kind of extend your pantry area. I don't agree that you should have to do that, but you know, depending on the size of your family, you might have to do that. So garages are typically locked in model homes, but this is a quick move-in home, so we can take a peek. So the nice thing about Toll Brothers is they finish the garages, which they're only one of maybe 2 or 3 builders in the area that actually do that. So they paint the garage, they put in the nice baseboards. You got an electrical sub panel over here. And then they put in the nice lift master with the MyQ connection. So you can control those from your phone, which is really awesome. Have that at my house. And this has the nice RV garage option. So if you have an RV, a boat, you know, you want a space to just store things, this is a serious garage. Right over here, you got your Rainbird irrigation control for your sprinkler system. Your guy can easily tap in, or girl can tap in for your backyard, of course. Here's your man door to your side yard. You can see you got plenty of space here for a nice shed or anything really. And then here's another view of the garage. And then you have a tankless water heater. And then I believe they have a loop. So I would recommend getting a water filtration or water softener system, especially in the Spanish Springs area, but that is up to you. If you need a recommendation, let me know. And then one of the biggest expenses other than the actual cost of the home, you know, buying the home, the down payment, going to be your backyard landscaping. So the nice thing about Harris Ranch in this community is they have bigger lots. Most of the lots here average around 12,000 square feet and can easily get bigger if you get a 2-story. Well, the lot doesn't get bigger. It's just, you know, a 2-story has a smaller footprint than a 1-story. So, you know, you'd have more backyard space. And not a ton of side yard here, but you know, you got 2 AC units and then you have a much bigger side yard on that side of the home. But really, I mean, this is still a pretty sizable yard if you ask me. Can extend out the pavers, you know, do some sort of water feature or retaining wall, put in a fire pit. I mean, you know, opportunities are endless. And then from over here, you got some decent mountain views over there, which looks pretty nice. And then since the yard slopes up over here, you know, I'd say you still have some pretty decent privacy. All right, we're gonna take you back through the rest of the home, show you the beautiful loft and the primary bedroom and other secondary bedrooms. So right here you have upgraded LVP on the staircase, which looks really nice. And then just off to the right, you're gonna have this really nice loft. So whether you wanna make this, you know, a kid's play area, media room, or maybe it could even be a work from home area and partially a workout area. So you got some lights here, and then they added the outlet up top with a Smurf tube. If you wanted to mount your TV here and, you know, make it that game area or media room, should work out just nicely. And then right over here, you got an Ecobee thermostat. I'm not sure if it's 2 or 3 zones, but it's a nice Ecobee thermostat. And then over here is another nice bedroom with an ensuite. And this bedroom also has carpet, upgraded baseboards. And then it looks like the same Pietrofina countertops, upgraded cabinets, and this would be one of their standard tub shower inserts here. And this is probably, I would say, an 11 by 12 or something similar. Then you have a little bit more room. You could put a nice desk or dresser in there. And you got a standard closet set up here. And also, if you're wondering, the home has a typical stucco exterior and then composition shingle roofs. You have that extended LVP again. Right over here is going to be your laundry area. Got some nice cabinets and counter space. And then this would be a gas dryer setup. And then just off to the right would have been the primary, but I want to show you the other rooms first. Here's another nice secondary bedroom, which is a pretty good size, maybe a 12 by 12 or so. Not a bad size room. And then you got your standard closet setup here. So if you buy this home, you're gonna have to put in a good amount of lights and ceiling fans because a lot of these rooms are just pre-wires, but I mean, you can buy some decent lights at Costco for, 20 bucks if you really want. Over here, you got another full bathroom with a dual vanity, same Pietrofina countertops, nice upgraded cabinets, and then that same standard tub shower insert, which is very easy to maintain. And then that is, I believe, weep holes for this insert, so make sure they don't caulk that area. Over here, it's gonna be another secondary bedroom. This one's actually pretty deep over here, so this one's a pretty good size, maybe a 13 by 10 or 13 by 11, but this is a pretty good size room. Once again, you have a half hot over here because there's no actual light here, just a pre-wire for a ceiling fan and light. And then you got another standard closet setup. All right, just down the hall, and last but not least, we're gonna check out the beautiful primary bedroom. Got this nice carpet that they put in here, and this is a massive, massive bedroom. I do believe they also upgraded the lights here because I believe these 4 recessed lights or can lights are not standard. I think I paid $1,800 for 4 lights in my great room. I believe that's a similar cost. Nice big room here. And this would be my closet because it's smaller. And I know my wife would shove me over here, but it's fine. I still got plenty of space, honestly. Then right over here, you got the beautiful primary bath. Got this gorgeous tub, which some communities is standard, some charge about $8,000 for that. And then what I really like, what they did here in this primary bathroom is they upgraded the countertops. I really wish I upgraded to quartz in my primary bathroom. It looks a lot nicer, it's more durable, and just doesn't stain as easily as that Pietrofina. I recommend putting in quartz in your master if you can, if it's within the budget. Got some nice brass or gold finishes. And they also put in the pre-wire here for a vanity light, which I think is a nice touch. And then this would be my wife's walk-in closet, which I guess isn't much bigger than the other, but it's nice that it's separate. And then you got a beautifully upgraded walk-in shower. I like this shower because it's not overdone. It's not, 2 to 3 times the size of this, which I think this is enough space without being too big. So got a nice frameless glass door. I do like the brass or gold here. They definitely put some nice upgraded tile on the walls. That's a bold move, Cotton, putting wow, different tile on different walls, but I mean, it looks amazing. If I were to do something like that, I'd have to copy a magazine or something, or a model, but it looks beautiful. Got a nice base tile here as well. And then that brass drain as well, looks good. And then you got that toilet over here with that same gold toilet paper holder. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of this beautiful move-in ready Snowhill home at the Harris Ranch community. Once again, this home is 5 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. It has a loft and an RV garage, and will be ready in July at $960,000. If you have any questions or comments about the specific home or community, please leave them down in the comments below and I'd be happy to help. And if you want to learn more about Reno, Sparks, and brand new construction in the area, check out some of my other videos.